I come from media and entertainment segment now. I've been in telecom for almost 20 years before this. So we'll do some bit of, my presentation is very light. It's more future evolution where we're looking for, as well as I'll have some videos to put some entertainment factor so that it keeps you pepped up a bit. This is the today's agenda. One is on digital evolution, digital era, smart living, and foundation elements which contribute to these things. So first is, we have been hearing data is the oil or natural resource, some also call it, but that's pervasive and that remains everywhere. So I'll first start with the data, a small video on data. Maybe if you can reduce the lights a bit, it would help. So this was primarily, I gave an insight into the data. I don't know if you have seen this video before. It's slightly old video, almost 1.5 years old. So it's primarily saying we are not even, we are creating a lot of data, but we are not able to use it in a way that the digital world will need. So with that concept, maybe we can look at the accelerating pace of change that is happening right from 1900s when we started with the normal, the basic computers, and now reaching up to level of singularity, what we are saying, where brain and like computer may probably exceed the compute power of all the brains combined in the world somewhere around 2045. A scary proposition, but that's how it is. And the Moore's law probably will get defunct in next 5 to 10 years. That's what we are looking at. And the digital data explosion. So what you saw, that's what is happening. This is a 2018 slide. And we are looking at almost 1 million spent on e-commerce every minute globally. So that's what is happening on the internet. We can measure the value of it through the spend only, rest of the things notwithstanding. And the digital era. So the 4 phases of digital era, what we are looking at is the internet era, the mid-90s ones, the social media that we have been seeing off late, and now the new one, collaborative and economy age, where all these Ubers and all are coming in. And then we are looking at autonomous world life. That's the next, which is in store for us. I'm also wanting to highlight some of the system level changes that has occurred on the way. So we'll move from server-centric computing to shared storage, virtualization, which we see now, and the future IT where the clouds will be talking to each other rather than cloud to a virtual servers also. And some of the points from the hype curve, which all of you are pretty familiar with, is virtual reality, which is reaching now the slope of enlightenment, and blockchain, you must have heard, cognitive. So I'll be taking all of these, some of the ones which form the building blocks at the next level. And with SMAC, we are now adding IoT and virtual reality also as our digital innovation quadrant, or it's 6 hexagon, I'd say. So the disruption is already happening. You are seeing companies like Uber, Airbnb, and Netflix, which are using a lot of social and cloud type of sourcing or networking to give out very tangible business models out of it. So it's very different from .com era where a lot of things was just virtual. Here we are talking about a real economy that's happening over the digital. And then next is our smart living. One, we are looking at normal houses which will be smart, and the family, how they assisted right from their living room to their kitchens and their office spaces. And second is our smart living constitute of smart cities. We are looking at smart grids and how all of these various components of smart living will combine. I'll probably, when we pass through the building blocks, you will see I'll again show you a video which has how this will transform our lives. Probably not now, sometimes in the future. So the glue, what we are talking about is big data and the cloud. So the cloud will help us connect all these various components for smart cities, right from energy management. So just to highlight, for smart city, the foundation is smart grids, which is about the electrical systems, and then a security system around it. In India, we are slightly far away from this because I think except for Bombay, we don't have, or Mumbai, we don't have smart grids anywhere. That's the only city which has got even SCADA network. Rest, Delhi is also lacking behind there. So probably we are still far away, notwithstanding what our the aim of the government is. Hopefully, we'll see it in 5 to 10 years. Then these are the story of SMAC, which all of you are already aware of, social networking and mobility and analytics and cloud. So these are the basic building blocks before we move to IoT. So recently, you must have seen one of these DOT communication where it said, the numbers for SIMs will change to 13 digit. Now these are not for yours mobile numbers, these are meant for M2M communication, and that's to aid IoT. So around 5 years ago, there was a regulation when all the IP4 transactions were moved to IPv6. And now this is being further added to 13 digit numbers for all M2M communication. So that will aid all these 4 billion connected people and 25 million apps and 25 plus million embedded intelligence system. So these are the fundamentals which will allow the IoT to happen in the future. And I think it's pretty evident because this is happening, this part of the evolution. And there is a pretty big $4 trillion opportunity also we are seeing. And then a very interesting piece which happened probably in December last year only, where the Google's AI AlphaZero beat this Stockfish computer, and this AlphaZero took only 4 hours to learn the game of chess. So with 4-hour learning, it was able to beat the computer world champion on chess. So that's the speed we are looking at of gaining knowledge with the speed. So the entire historical knowledge about chess, this artificial intelligence system was able to learn within 4 hours. It's quite mind-boggling, I would say. And we are looking at a lot of transformation going forward because of this. So all these with artificial intelligence, bots, and machine learning, you're also aware of these Alexa and Google Homes and Apple pods that are coming in. And these are not only helping, but sometimes they are intrusive also, and they can even embarrass you at times. So in our previous discussion over the coffee we were having, somebody got embarrassed because of they keep listening to you, and at times they may say something in a social forum or with your families which you may not like them to be saying. So it's quite an intrusive, another family member sitting in your home until you decide to, to make it quiet and not listen to you. You have to be careful with these technologies. And then we are looking at the chatbot ecosystem which comes with it. It takes time to learn. They're still learning. They're not perfected the art yet, but it's still there. Then we are looking at auto-guided drones for various delivery, and then autonomous cars. And not just autonomous cars, we are even looking at energy-efficient solar roads. So roads can even power these vehicles as such. So a lot of new stuff happening. Similarly, in virtual world, we are looking at virtual reality and augmented reality. These are key components of marketing and getting augmented reality from things which look normal today. Even in our context, when we see for advertising, this becomes a very strong tool, I would say. And causing a lot of when you run marketing campaigns, this can be a pretty potent tool over there, and a lot of companies have started using it. And then we are not just looking at a normal API. So Munish was talking about APIs and all. Going forward, I think if we are looking at open, so blockchain is a sort of an open register across, and which can aid the Internet of everything, not just Internet of Things. It can take Internet of everything, highly secure. It has private options. It has got public options as well. And there are smart contracts can be managed through it. They can be much lower infrastructure costs we can incur, and you can be very sure of the authenticity of data. So we are looking at a future blockchain IOX networks as well, and moving away from these centralized cloud structures. After the Bitcoin, which started it, I think a lot of financial institutions are looking at it to work seamlessly across the geographies, as well as now a lot of enterprises are exploring it to avoid these cases of frauds or getting assured that they are dealing with the right partners. And next is cognitive computing. So this is again a sense where computing and human are combining together. I'm being told I've just left with 1 minute, so this was the entertainment I had to do. Video analytics, unique identity, cognitive enterprises, where the human and the machine work like a unified sort of a force, I would say. So the next, all these, what I have told right now, what does it transform into? It's summed up in the video that will be in the next slide that I'll come into. This is all summed up into the next video. Quite an interesting one from one of the global university that I have taken. I hope nobody would have seen it before, but here it is. Thank you very much. This was just all the technologies that what we keep on doing. This is what the end goal which we are trying to achieve is the smart living and smart cities. The video puts it much more lucid for all of us. Thank you very much.